Good morning. It's a beautiful day. We're heading into a full moon. We're on a fire watch for a couple of days. I'm back to work. A lot is happening. The full moon and the going into the full moon is just a beautiful time here. The moon is so bright. I was lying on the hammock the other night, thinking of watching for stars and meteors and comets and stuff like that, but the moon was rising and it just lit up the sky, so that's okay. I'll be watching it when it does come up. It comes up from behind the trees and it's just stunning. Our fire watch is less than stunning. I've been hearing fire planes all day, and yesterday they do patrols, and for that I'm very grateful. We are under fire watch for I think the next 24 hours, 36 hours, something like that. It's a combination, I believe, of heat, humidity, and wind that creates these watches. We were told by the power company that we might lose power. They might turn off power in certain areas which are high risk. I didn't see my area there on the high risk list, but you never know. I have to check. As I mentioned, I'm working again, and power outages do affect my clients. One client lives in a house with a full house generator, so the power outages do not affect him. Another client does not have that, so I'm not sure if she's going to have water if they do turn off the fire because she's on a well. But we'll see. It's all workable. Done it before, we'll do it again. There have been some devastating fires that have run through this part of California. One about, I want to say, 8 years ago, devastated huge parts of this county, and they're still trying to rebuild. That was before I even thought of moving up here. I'm glad I moved up here in spite of it all. And there have been many fires after that, including several since I've moved in here. However, with each fire, I have noticed that they have gotten better at patrolling, at managing electricity, at managing communications with people. I feel very secure, actually. I know that they are on top of it. There's a new app, it's not that new, maybe 2 years old, called Watch Duty, which is a California fire app, though I think it's all over the country now, and it was actually developed in this county. And it alerts you when there's a fire in your area. You put down where you live, your zip code, and it will alert you if there's a fire. It's very handy because you can avoid certain roads or certain areas, and you know what's going on at all times. Right now, however, all is well. But just to be on the safe side, I'm doing my laundry in case we do lose power. At least I'll have clean clothes. I'm back at work. We had a bad coronavirus epidemic here. It's in this county, and one of the areas I worked in was a small little community up in the mountains, and several caregivers got very, very sick, so they asked me to take over some of the clients for a while, so I have. I'm wearing masks. I'm trying to keep things very clean. I have plenty of tests with me, and the main thing is to keep my clients safe because they're all medically fragile and older, even older than me. I don't want to get sick either, but I particularly want to keep my clients safe. We are definitely heading into fall. We have cooler nights, which is wonderful. Still hot days. I think we're going to be 95 today. I have to go into town. I have to go to the laundromat. I have a bunch of things that need to be washed. I went camping a week or so ago, and we got rained on and everything dried out, but I still need to wash stuff, and some of the stuff's too heavy for my regular washing machine. So I'll be heading pretty soon into town to the laundromat and also to the library to download a bunch of stuff because the internet here is just terrible. Garden is slowly producing. Do have a problem with not enough sun here, but I've never gotten farther in a garden up here than I've gotten this year. So I'm going to be moving the garden to another part of the property, and I'm getting a water line put in so that I can water them, and it'll also be better from a fire safety standpoint to have more spigots around the outside of the property. Right now I just have one, actually two, on one side of the property. So I'm going to be adding more, and then if they do any sort of landscaping here or mowing or whatever, we'll have just access to water all over the property for fire safety. I have a berm which is nearby too, which is on a spring, which was discovered when I was doing some improvements here with a tractor. I was not driving the tractor, but someone else was driving the tractor, and so I think it's going to be a nice place to plant some fruit trees, and maybe I'll finally have some positive fruit tree action. I have 2 fruit trees that have survived out here. One is an apple and one is an almond, actually 3, and one is a pomegranate, which is, all these years it's only gotten to be about, I guess, 2 feet high. So at some point I'm going to dig that up, probably in the winter when everything's wet, and move it over there. I'd love to get some pomegranates out here, and it's just not thriving in its current location. Other fruit trees are doing okay, but also not thriving, but they're still alive. I found a 3rd fruit tree about 100 feet away in the bushes after a big storm. I think the wind just picked it up and brought it over. So that was pretty shocking. I thought, what is that poking out of the bushes? Well, it's a tree. So that's what's happening here. Enjoying this fall weather. We still have a lot of heat, but it's getting a little bit cooler, and it continues to be an absolute pleasure to live out here in spite of the heat, in spite of the fires, in spite of the dramas. It's the best place on earth. Hope you are doing well and enjoying your fall season, and moving into a new time of the year. Thank you so much for watching.